Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, that was a great keynote by Zopper. Of that, we move on to the panel session. Very interesting and very powerful topic and subject: rise of fintech and insurtech, changing face of NBFC. And to discuss on this wonderful panel, I have with me a plethora of experts of the same domain from the NBFC sector. So let me introduce without further delay our honorable panel members in sequence. Joining first, we have Thiru R, the COO from Kinara Capital.
Hi everyone, good morning all of you.
A warm welcome to you, Thiru. Joining next, we have Manas Shukla, the head digital from Nippon India Mutual Funds. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Shukla.
Thanks a lot, Sana. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining at the first hour in the morning. Thanks a lot.
Joining next, we have Amit Purohit, the VP and Head Digital from Aditya Birla Sun Life Asset Management Company. Welcome on the panel, Mr. Purohit. Next, we have Anil Sinha, the CTO from Early Salary. Warm
Hello,
welcome
good
to you,
morning,
Mr. Sinha.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Joining next, we have Harshvardhan Mittal, the CTO from Cred Avenue.
Hey, thanks, Sana. Hi,
A
everyone.
warm welcome to you, Mr. Mittal. Joining next, we have Nikhil Garg, the SVP and Head IT from DMI Finance.
Hi everyone. Thanks, Anna.
Next, we have Aparajit Bhattacharya, the Senior Consultant from. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the moderator of this panel session, Mr. Balaji TK, the CIO from Orange Retail Finance. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Balaji.
Thank you, Sana. Happy morning to everyone. Wishing
So,
you a great
Balaji,
day.
all over to you, the captain of the ship and the moderator of this panel. I am looking forward to a fantastic session of all the experts here and, of course, the moderator. I'm sure the panel is in wonderful and able hands. Hope to have a fantastic panel. So, all the very best, dear panel members. Wishing a great success in the panel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sana. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the Sinex Group for organizing this wonderful session. Very, very interesting topic. And the eminent panelist, we can't ask more than this. So, which is consist of varied from a fintech to insurance tech to a kind of a full-fledged digital to a traditional kind of a setup. So everybody is there in this group. Very, very interesting. Just I'll take 1 minute about my organization. We are Orange Retail Finance. We are a traditionally digital player. We do a two-wheeler loan against property, and then we have a complete suite of end-to-end digital product. We also have a mobile app where customer can come and apply a loan. So it's a kind of a curated logins where the sanctions and disbursements happens immediately. And we are the only guys who do delivery of the bikes by providing loans. So without much ado, let me go to my eminent panelist. A very interesting topic. First, let me understand what are the rises of the fintech and insurance tech and how this is changing the entire NBFC domain. I would like to first call upon Mr. Thiru from Kinara Capital. Thiru, over to you, Thiru, please.
Hi, good morning all of you. Thank you, Sinex, for organizing this, and thank you, Mr. Balaji. Just to give a quick introduction about myself and the organization, Kinara Capital is NBFC or fintech based out of Bangalore. We have been in presence for the last 10 years, and we have managed around 1,000 crore portfolio. We give collateral free loans to small businesses entire in a fintech platform called My Kinara platform. That's what we have done in the last 10 years. We have disbursed around more than 3,000 crore worth of loans and managed the portfolio of around 1,000 crores. This is about us. As Balaji was mentioning, this is a very, very interesting topic, and we at Kinara Capital, we are basically a digital fintech from day one. In the last 10 years, our focus has been always give a very, very personalized, customized lending experience to the customer in a very quick turnaround time and in a very smooth way as possible. So we have a customer friendly platform, as I was mentioning, My Kinara platform, wherein which we deliver our financial services. Mostly we give loans in the range of 1 lakh to 30 lakh. That is our forte. uh, the topic of the day today is about how the kind of the NBFCs and particularly the fintech, how it is been changing phase, and thanks to this pandemic, the COVID, which has kind of accelerated the process of digital transformation, both in terms of customer acquisition and also both in terms of, most importantly, the credit modeling, and also importantly the collections also. It is not about only acquiring quality customers, it also how we can use our digital kind of transformation for collection practices also. That is one of the more focused area for us, because of the pandemic, it has kind of helped our efforts to kind of give us time to perfect our digital platforms, because these kind of platforms has kind of boost the accessibility and facilitate very quick financial services. That's the kind of future we are looking ahead, not only in terms of, as I said, credit modeling, but also from the payment perspective, how we have integrated with 400 different payment platforms, so as to ease their collection efforts also, and also to help the customer to easily do payments. So we at Kinara are kind of focused on this new fintech digital kind of platform, wherein which we can give loans in a very quick turnaround time, ranging from 2 hours at maximum to 2 days. So this is a very interesting topic, and I will talk more about other customized lending practices, how we are focusing on that. Over to you, Mr. Bala.
Thank you, Turu. I think quite interesting. You've been sharing about your My Kinara platform, where you can able to do a kind of 1 lakh to 30 lakh kind of a loan. Quite interesting was you told about you are doing a 400 different payment. We are more interested to learn about it in the coming few minutes time. Thank you very much. Now I'll go to my question on how to build a platform that can kind of a leapfrog for this fintech and insurtech kind of innovation. I would like to request Rajiv from RappiPay. Rajiv, over to you.
Thanks, Balaji. So, hi everyone, and my name is Rajiv. I'm working as an Chief Technology Officer at RappiPay, looking after their multiple product portfolios. And thanks to Science for giving me an opportunity to speak here. So, my views on digitalization or digital transformation is that it has immense opportunity, and I've been working on to the transformation state, I would say, from last approximately 10 years, and into the fintech space from since 2008. What interested me when the first transformation that I saw in 2008, so I was working with Square, the mobile POS, and the idea generated immense excitement inside me, that how people or people like us in the industry are thinking to simplify the liveliness or the livelihood of the people. So today also everyone must have seen that how a bulky POS is, the point of sale system, which is attached to a counter. It cannot move. And in the US, it was that there are like a lot of door-to-door deliveries. And in the US, it's being like 15 years that they rely on the plastic money, which is the cards, plastic cards, the debit cards or credit cards. So since then, like I have been very much interested into this space. I have been working, so I'm working about my organization. I'm working with RapiPay FinTech, wherein we are one of the 3 largest players across the country into the financial inclusion space. We are having one of the largest volume across the country, I would say, into the financial inclusion space. We offer micro ATM, we offer Aadhaar enabled payment systems, we offer domestic money transformation, domestic money transfer, and then we have partnered with multiple international and domestic players and banks. Just last week, or I would say even last week, I went live with my point of sale system, the same concept that I have been working from last 15 years. I have also gone live with my digital lending space. So what excited me, or what actually helped me to understand that, okay, everybody is building some kind of a platform. We all are talking about a digital transformation journey. What is that? Okay, giving a digital loan or giving a unsecured loan, is that can be a really possibility that a person, a user, can download my RapiPay application, and by the time he leaves the application or he closes the application, I can come to a decision stating that can I offer him, based upon whatever the inputs I have captured, what is the amount of the loan that I can provide him. Today also, there are many organizations across the globe within our country also doing that. But what I have seen and got disappointed, that everybody says that it's a digital loan, but more than 70% of the loans goes to the manual validation. So it's not actually digital. They captures all the details. There is a KYC validations, there are bank account or statement validations, there are CIBIL captures that happens, the credit scores. But at end of the time or end of the application journey, they say that, okay, we'll get back to you. That is where I wanted to simplify this journey, that let's actually call it a digital application or a digital lending application. So I built in like more than 100 plus algorithms inside my application, stating that, okay, these are the parameters that I will be assessing any one of my customer. And then if each and everything matches, says that there are 2 things, true or false. If I'm getting all this success on all the parameters, end of the application, I arrive into a conclusion that to this user, I can lend 10,000 to 5 lakhs. What is the interest rate that I can offer? There is a credit risk. There is a risk that has been assessed also. We capture his monthly, I can say, the salary or the inputs, credits that he is receiving, what kind of debits are happening using the CIBIL and validating his statement. So this is what I wanted always to have in the real world. And at the same time, this not only increases the customer experience, the stickiness of the customers to our platform, it also helped me reduce my cost a lot. Because if I do the same thing like how the traditional bank process an application, there is a huge lead time. I can say that every one of us might have applied for a home loan or a personal loan or a car loan or an auto loan. And we have seen that it takes 3 to 5 days, unnecessary calls, unnecessary validations. Sometimes you miss this document, please share it. And it just irks the customer. We are living in a digital world wherein everything is going digital. And that's where all of my friends or all of my colleagues, we are talking about digital lending. And if this is succeeded, there will be a huge cost benefit to all the organizations, I can say.
Understood. Very, very interesting journey, like the kind of transformation journey which you're doing, and congrats for going live. Very interesting. And moreover, like your kind of unsecured loan and with kind of a thousands plus algorithm, it's quite interesting. And moreover, you do a kind of a end-to-end digital without any physical touch point. Anybody saying will get back to you. So you remove that get back to you algorithm itself.
And that is so when I actually started building this application, I personally downloaded many applications.
Thank you.
And I saw that, okay, it takes so much time sometimes for the statement validation. It just keeps on rovering, and doesn't give you any statement. The other problem is that, okay, it takes endless time. They say that, okay, in less than 5 minutes, I'll process your application or I'll come to a decision, but it may take up to 15 minutes. There are all set of people like us also. There are people who are needy also, who actually want to process or get out of the application in 5 minutes with a decision of yes or no. They don't want to waste more than 5 minutes. And about organization like us, definitely we are banking on our database. So I've got like around 5 lakh direct business outlets. I've got my point of sale solution. So for me, my target customers are them for whom already risk has been assessed. So even though if a new customer is coming or not coming, that is another question or a point for the business people. But for me, this 5-7 lakh DBOs are my direct merchants and agents who are transacting with me day in and day out. I have got all of their data with me, that what kind of transactions they are doing, what kind of settlements they are happening, what kind of customers they are happening. And then I can easily do the upselling or whatever the pre-selling to them. I can simply request them that, okay, you can download this application, or maybe within my existing applications, I can tell them that, okay, this is a pre-approved amount for you. So I keep on learning and running those algorithms on my database, which is a huge database I have. And definitely in order to mature the data, I need to do the data mining. And then there needs to be algorithm that how this metadata can be segregated.
Yeah. Very nice. Thanks, Rajiv. Now I'll just very nice for sharing that. Kind of a last point was very interesting. You got 5 lakh listeners and then enabling the pause and all. I would like to call upon now Mr. Manas Shukla from Nippon India Mutual Fund. I would like to spin a different question. We all agree that the technologies are defining a new paradigm for NBFC. I want to understand a view on it from your standpoint.
Thanks a lot, Balaji. So, compared to most of you who are in the lending space, on the NBFC space, me and Amit, we come from a space where we actually ask for money and not give money, right? So we come from a mutual fund space where we ask, okay, you want to invest over a period of time, please do come ahead. We have the products available, we have the propositions available. Over a period of time, you would be able to make much more money than your inflation. So that's where we stand. However, what has happened is in the last 5-7 years, there's been a tectonic shift, just like in the NBFC space, just like in the InsurTech space. In the investment space also, there's been a tectonic shift. The new crowd and the millennial crowd which is coming in very different expectations and is more concerned about the user part of it, user journey part of it, rather than the product per se. So we've seen a last pandemic year, we've seen a lot of people come, make money and move out of mutual funds just like they do in stocks. Mutual funds are typically not stocks, right? They're long-term investments. But the easiness, the handle which the digital or the technology perspective gives, they were easily able to come in, make money and move out. And obviously a chunk of them have stayed also for a longer period of time. But that's how it has changed. In Nippon India Mutual Funds, we started our digital journey about 10 years back, right? And one of the strongest ones in the digital space today. We very clearly focus on 3 things, which is basically providing a friendly, a futuristic, and a frictionless platform. Now, in our business, unlike since we are a manufacturer, unlike most of you, we also have the players, the distributors, or the intermediaries which do business for us. So the perspective is not only enhancing and building up your capabilities, it is also enabling them build up their capabilities to reach out to the customers. Right. So there is a little difference out here. We work on both a B2B as well as a B2B2C model. Right. And when we talk about technology or when we talk about digital, we talk about building both in terms of how convenient is my asset, somebody coming to me, and how convenient am I enabling the intermediaries asset. So the person coming there also is given a very, very seamless experience. Now coming to the entire spectrum, yes, of course, with in the last 2-3 years, the volumes, when we talk in terms of the transaction volumes, have gone up drastically. Today, in our industry, roughly 85% of the transactions have gone paperless, right, which about used to be about 50-55% 2 years back. So now we are almost as an industry, when I'm talking about, I'm just not talking about Nippon, I'm talking about as an industry. A mutual fund industry is about 85% paperless today, right, which is a not just a great save but also a great benchmark, because over a period of time we need to kill that paper thing over a period of time. At Nippon, as I mentioned, we continuously focus on delivering the best experience to all our customers, whether, as I mentioned, whether they are coming directly or coming through a platform to us. I mean, last year, the change which has happened is in terms of percentage, I've already shared. But if you see, we have added, right, in last 1 year, we've almost added 15 lakh new customers, right, in just one aspect, right. Total, we've added roughly 35 lakh folios, right. Uh, so there are basically in mutual funds there are various schemes, there are various aspects, and there are various categories where these additions happen. So that is how the I mean, in short, you can say 3 years back where we were and where we are today in terms of investors, we've doubled. So and it's not an industry which is a very recent industry, it's a very old industry as such. So that's how we've kind of worked around. Yes, we obviously want to enable working with the other segments, which is basically how Rajiv was pointing out in terms of the loan segments, because can we together work on a model wherein if somebody is doing an investment, can that be considered, I mean, after obviously the account aggregation thing, it may be possible, can it be considered as a virtue of making a loan to him? Possible.
Yep.
Wow, very interesting, very interesting. I think the new business models are emerging with the help of this tech and digital platform. And moreover, it touched on these three things like friendly, futuristic, and future kind of a future platform. Very nice. Thank you. And now the new kind of crowds are spending the money immediately, even though the platform is not for it. Very nice. Yeah. So now I want to go to Amit, who is from a similar industry. Amit, your take on how this technology or the digital is defining your domain? Over to you, Amit. You are in mute, Amit. Please, can you unmute and talk?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was speaking on mute. So thank you, Balaji, for an interesting question. I think what we have seen till now is just, in a way, scratching the surface. If you see, any industry you take in India, be it lending or be it investments and all, it has actually not touched the true Indian customer, if you ask me, like the guy who needs on the last mile. So how, just from a lending perspective, how you can lend to someone who is, working on a daily basis, maybe a vegetable vendor or maybe a daily wage earner. He needs money on a daily basis and he'll pay you on a daily basis. So how do you touch him? In the similar fashion, if you ask in my industry, how do you touch the last mile for the guy who pays 100 rupee and he wants to invest maybe for a longer period of time, and maybe why not he invest on a daily basis rather than doing a monthly SIP and all. So I think if you ask me till now, I think the biggest hurdle that we all were facing was asking the customer who you are. Please prove that who you are. Unless and until you prove me, I will not lend you. I will, in fact, for us, for Manas and for the investment industry, it is even more difficult. We ask him, you prove yourself that, who you are, where you belong, what are your credentials, then only I'll take your money. So it is that much more difficult, rightfully so, in the current arena. But looking at the brighter side, what I feel is, if we make two of the points, one is entry point and second is the exit point, easier for the customer, I think the penetration that what we see today will skyrocket, and maybe it will be 5 folds in another 5 years time. The entry point is knowing the customer, validating him, doing his KYC. So how about if an industry is working towards it? If you see the common KYC and all those things that you see, not yet seen the true if you ask me the true flavor or the true impact of the same, because there are certain hurdles, intra regulator and all that, but I see that changing very soon. So if you have done KYC of the customer once, just use it across and just make his life while he is entering into your ecosystem much more easier. How you do that? Second is how you use some of the data points which he is kind of sharing with you while he is doing a transaction, while he is living his life. So while he lives his life, he leaves a lot of data footprints, and these are all cluttered data points at different places. How do you gather them, make use of them, and help him, be it credit scoring, be it knowing him better, be it knowing his ecosystem better, be it knowing how much amount he's going to need today, and maybe if festivities are coming, maybe he will need 5 times more for him to buy for Diwali. He will need money to maybe 5 times more. So how do you lend during those specific periods even a little more, knowing his UPI footprint, knowing his so many other digital footprint that he leaves? And believe you me, I think we all underestimate people living in Bharat, which is the other part of the country. If you ask me, those people are even more savvier than the people who live in cities. The only reason is they have a need, and there are very few means which they can fulfill their need, and the biggest means is the mobile phone. And he knows more than all of us in terms of how to use the mobile phone. So if you reach out to him using the data which is sitting on his mobile phone, and maybe he is touching his mobile phones 500 times in a day. So how do you gather the data from his mobile and use it across to kind of either lend him, and use the same platform to, why only lend, use the same platform for investments, use the same platform for many more things, and life across his needs in terms of financial is made much more easier. So I mean these days it is quite possible. I think world is seeing those changes, and if you ask me, I think we are underestimating the future. So maybe another 2-3 years, or maybe max 5 years, the future will be completely different. It will be whole more transparent. It will be whole more inclusive. It will be whole more easier, and maybe it will be fun. So I think one last thing I'd like to add is, in financial services, it's a very boring business. If you ask me to lend to someone, or if you, and for us, it is even more boring and difficult, because you're taking money from someone and say, okay, I'll double your money after 5 years, and you can't guarantee also. So in this scenario, how do you make it fun? Like, while someone visits Amazon and Flipkart and he enjoys the whole thing. So how do you make life transacting a fun? And that's also maybe something left to all of us to kind of introspect and bring forward. Yeah, I hope this was useful. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you very much, Amit. I think few takeaways from my side, from your point, was like make the entry and exit very, very easier. And still, we are just only touching the surface. We need to penetrate a lot more. Bharat is too big. And then another point you told, the consolidation of platform will really help us. And then we are also moving to kind of a transparent and kind of a fun stage. Very quite interesting takeaways for all our members. Now I would like to move to Mr. Anil. He is from Early Salary. I want to spin up a different question, Anil. I want to understand how to bring in the innovation in the fintech platform that can leapfrog. Over to you, Anil.
Yeah. So I think one thing I would like to point out is that I think the entire all the industry, with lending, with investment or insurance, everything is growing together. And I completely agree with what Mr. Amit said, that this is still a start of the. This is very nascent stage. There are a lot has to be done and a lot will happen. And from my point of view, I think one of the biggest innovator is our government itself. A platform like UPI is a game changer. So lot many digital transactions started happening, which was not possible some time back. Now, if you really look at a digital platform, so from a customer point of view, obviously it gives us a lot of convenience, right? But from a organization point of view, when you meet a customer in a physical world, you connect to a customer by his words, his emotions, and expression. But when you're actually doing this word digitally, the emotion and expression is missing. And as a tech owner, it's our responsibility to that, how we can bring the same type of experience. Once you actually bring emotion and experience, then only you know your customer better, and then only you would be able to provide in the right type of services he or she might be looking at, right? And that is where data is becoming extremely important. So you are replacing those emotion expression with a data. Basically, you're getting a data from very different way. The customer interact with you, custom, like Amit said, various open public channel as well, from where you get the data, and then you understand what is the right need, what is the right thing the customer is looking for, and accordingly you can help that service. So whenever you are building a digital platform, it's very, very important that it has to be data driven, backed by analytics, so that you should be able to offer very defined and the personalized service. So for example, we have multiple different type of services: cash loan, card, we have a digital card, and also we have a multiple partnership with insurance and education sector, right? So based on where the customer is coming from, what type of potential need he or she has, we offer those services, and this is just a start, I would say. Now, another important aspect is when we are building up a platform, look for the alternate data. So for example, even if you look at India as a population, and only around overall population, more the credit penetration is just 3 to 4%, not more than that, which is much low. That means a large population of India is not even not have taken a organized loan from an NBFC or traditional or the banks. Now, if your underwriting would be just based on the credit bureau, you might not be able to underwrite the rest of the 97% of the people. And that is why another innovation, that is why another focus needs to be there on, building those alternate data, a scorecard based on the alternate data. And that is why a lot of investment happening in the AI and the data analysis in this area. And another probably important direction that the entire thing is moving towards is the embedded financing. So basically, let's say, as we build a platform, the platform should have a flexibility to partnership. The open API should be there. Then we have a, let's say, SDK is there, or maybe a web plugin is there, so that it's become easy to partner. And that's how the embedded finance industry would move towards. For example, you rightly talked about, if somebody has did about is on a platform which is in for investment, having a mutual fund, a stock, can this asset be used to give him additional credit? Similarly, somebody, let's say, buying an insurance, in the insurance platform itself provide an ability to convert into the EMI. So for example, we work with, let's say, many insurance partner. For example, Max Bupa. If you are going to buy insurance from Max Bupa, and if you want to convert that into an EMI, that platform should be unified and integrated. So these are the things we need to look at. We need to give a data as importance to our platform, since data is way we understand our customer. And then we need to look at how we can have a more embedded and deep integration across the different verticals, so that it become a more cohesive and better user experience from the user point of view.
Thank you very much, Anil. Thank you. Very, very quite interesting. So few things which I can able to understand from you is while developing this platform, keep it a kind of a open API and a DC web plugin. And moreover, very interesting point which you shared is data derives the emotion and then depend on the alternative data source. Quite interesting takeaway for me. Now I'd like to move upon to Harsh Vardhan Mittal. Harsh, you are having quite interesting platform, kind of a end-to-end peer-to-peer kind of a platform. You need to talk about more about this platform. How you bringing the innovation into this fintech journey? Over to you, Harsh.
Definitely. Thanks, Mr. Balaji. And hi, everyone. So I represent CAD Avenue. CAD Avenue is basically unlike others. It's a B2B lending marketplace where we are helping enterprises, NBFCs to connect with the banks and get their financial needs fulfilled, right? So we all talked about helping the retail customer and what are the difficulties in lending to the retail and how we are solving their pain points. But as NBFCs, we have a lot of capital need while serving to our own customers, right? And how do we get that money, right? So, and then because the amount of money is much more higher, getting it from the banks is even more difficult, right? So that's where CAD Avenue is coming into the picture. So we help enterprises as well as NBFCs to connect with the banks and get money. And interestingly, we have some of our customers also on the call in the panel, right? So, so when it comes to let me highlight a few of the challenges, and then I'll talk about the how we are leveraging technology to solve those challenges, right? So think about enterprise lending. When we are thinking about enterprise lending, the average ticket size on the platform is today 15 crore, right? So, and we think about if you don't have CIBIL, even to get a 1 lakh rupee of personal loan, is getting that is also very difficult. So bank is, as we all were talking about, everyone is asking so many different kind of documentation, and it's very hard for bank to assess, the credit worthiness and genuineness of the customer. Now, if you take that and multiply by a factor of 1,000, and you want to get, say, 10 crore worth of loan, and you don't have equivalent of CIBIL, right? So how a bank is going to give you that kind of money, right? It becomes a big challenge. And that's where we are utilizing technology. So the current customer pain point is that, each bank has their own underwriting process. They look for different data points and documentation. Also, the journey is complex. While in retail, it's taking, say, 3 to 5 days. In here, it's taking like 3 months. And then there are multiple parties involved, right? So there are banks, there are lending, like there are audit firms, there are law firms. All of those guys are involved, rating agencies, right? So how do we simplify this journey? So we are utilizing data quite a bit, trying to standardize the data formats and also detect any fraudulent activities, like, so that bank can test data. Also get quite a bit of data from open and public sources, so that as a customer, enterprises don't have to get into data fatigue. And then helping the banks and everyone throughout the workflow of the journey to make one decision at a time with the help of various data-based insights. Say someone who is making a decision on how much to give, right? So, or what is the right rate to give, he needs to look at the comparables, right? So that's one part of the platform where we are utilizing data quite a bit. Second problem which we are solving, which is probably even more relevant for this group, is our co-lending and securitization platforms, which are helping NBFCs to connect with the banks to get leverage their loan books to get capital. And one of the biggest challenge which we see, so RBI has simplified, they have brought up the concept of co-lending, but even today, to get to the co-lending, NBFC will have to integrate with the bank one-on-one, right? And given we have so many other, tech needs, integrating with the bank, multiple banks is a very difficult situation, right? So what we have tried to do is come up with a unified um, exchange where uh, you can connect with our platform, and we are understanding what bank needs, connect to multiple banks platforms, and seamlessly transition the data from one platform to another, right? So this helps NBFCs to basically connect once and then find the best partner based on the your current need. So if you want to do say MFI loan and partner with say today you are partnering with HDFC, and for whatever reason your loan approval rate is not very high, right? Tomorrow you want to go to SBI. Now instead of starting from fresh, right? So you can directly get into the business partnership. So utilizing the technology, we are trying to simplify the access to the credit to the enterprises and NBFCs. Also for banks, it's also much simpler because they also don't have to integrate with so many different NBFCs one-on-one. So they can integrate once, and that helps them, to connect with the various NBFCs seamlessly.
Thank you very much, Ash. Thank you. Your co-lending platform, making it a kind of a simplified and it's kind of unified exchange platform. It's an existing platform where you are connecting everybody. Excellent takeaways on your point. And one more very interesting point which you shared is you are heavily utilizing the data points. I think that's should be the key takeaway for most of the fintech players also. Thank you very much. I'd like to move upon now to Nikhil Garg from DMI Finance. Nikhil, since you have many product offerings are there, can tell how you're managing your NBFC strategies.
Sure. So, thanks for the question and inviting me to the panel, Balaji. I'm a part of the DMI Finance, and we were born as a digital lending platform and a digital NBFC. So we don't have a physical presence. We are integrated with a variety of channel partners, fintech, and we are then integrated with OEMs, mobile wallets, e-com players, and so on. We are doing a lot of products. We are doing uh, the retail loans, the term loans, or the credit lines, cards, and a variety of offerings. Now, one of the key things which we have discovered over a period of time is uh, by virtue of working with a lot of channel partners or fintechs, our strategy is to be always digital, have integrated uh, with all the various channel partners, use their strategies, work along with them, invest into a variety of products, and always look for the disruptions in the solutions. So we have created a lot of homegrown solutions which could be around the KYC, which some of the friends were previously talking about. We do a variety of KYCs, including let's say the Aadhaar based, DigiLocker, CKYC, and various other combinations. Then we are integrated with a variety of bureaus. We are integrated with variety of alternate data service providers, which helps us to underwrite a customer in a split kind of a second. We take a great deal of pride in saying that we are able to decision a customer in within the 10-second range, and within 10 seconds we are able to define how much or what kind of a loan or whether a loan can be given to a customer or not, and that we do for a variety of uh, uh, customers pan India, and our strategy is to be disrupting whatever is possible in any of the domains. So again, for the payments, we are integrated with a variety of collection and other payment banks or payment solutions with which we should have a minimal need of doing the physical payment. or a cash collection. So the strategy is to invest a lot in data, invest a lot in sandboxes and API based solutions, or somehow we believe that we should be a technology company doing some sort of a lending into the finance. And that's how we are trying to do a digital lending over a period of time.
Thank you, Nikhil. Very interesting. Like you are able integrating with various channel partners, ecosystem players, and moreover, you'll be sharing like you got a kind of a homegrown solution where you can able to dispose in 10 seconds. Very interesting. Certainly, like we'll come back to you to understand more about the platform. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I would like to invite Aparajit Bhattacharya from Zopo. Aparajit, I would like to spin a different question for you because your product offering is more from InsurTech strategy. I would like to understand how you are managing, how you are supporting this FinTech and InsurTech strategies, and what kind of product offerings, and how the industry is moving forward now.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Balaji, for this opportunity, and thank you to all the panel members for having me. So just to give you a brief about Zopper and the work that I do, you might be aware that Zopper is one of the leading players in the extended warranty market in the country. We are kind of present across more than 16,000 pin codes, and we service about close to 2 million policies in a year. The role that I am undertaking as part of being a senior consultant with Zopper is that of strategic expansion and strategic initiatives. So we are very interested in looking at the ecosystem that is being built in India from the NBFC and financial services perspective. Primarily because I've been hearing what other panelists have been speaking about, micro lending, data mining, creating personas, understanding consumer behavior. I mean, these things are very, very important and critical for us to figure out what's going to be the next stage in terms of evolution of insurance and insurance-related technology in India. A big amount of traction that we are seeing across various platforms, and I do agree with most of the panelists in terms of the underwriting practices that most of the esteemed panelists are kind of working on, issuing lending on the spot, identifying who the customer is, trying to ease out the bottom of the pyramid problems. And this is where exactly we kind of fit in from our product proposition perspective, because what we call this is something like a contextual product. So what I mean by that is, if you look at an insurance policy or an insurance product in India, there are kind of basically two types of products which are typically available. One is a conversational product, wherein somebody has to come and meet you, speak to you about the facilities of this product, about the features, about the exclusions and inclusions. It could be a health insurance or a life insurance, and thereafter you would probably buy or not, or decide not to buy. That's primarily something that we call as a conversational product, and it is best left to agents and probably the traditional distribution models like bank insurance, so on and so forth. The other side of the product revolution that we are seeing on the InsurTech side is something called a contextual product. So contextual means that, for example, you are a fintech, you have decided to give a loan to Mr. Aparajit Bhattacharya to buy a smartphone. So through your data mining efforts that where is this money going to go? So that this gentleman is sitting in Flipkart and he's trying to buy an Apple iPhone and he wants to check out. And using your credit worthiness, he's actually taking a loan or a BNPL, buy now, pay later scheme, which you are financing. And at the time of checking out from the cart of the e-commerce platform like Flipkart or maybe Amazon, we can deftly place an extended warranty or a gadget protection insurance program, which could be bundled together and bought in one shot, and the customer can exit. So this kind of contextual products is something that we at Zopper are very, very interested in doing. And we are doing it at huge number, as I said, more than 2 million policies in a year. The company is going at a rapid pace. So yes, I think my forecast. Obviously, I'm not an astrologer, but I work with a lot of data, and my forecast is that the future of insurance distribution or the future of insurtech evolution would be around platforms. And I am deeply happy and grateful to be part of this elite forum where we are actually discussing platforms from the perspective of NBFCs and fintechs. Secondly, the insurance is basically a tertiary product. So it kind of rides on two things. One is the financial underwriting and one is something called a medical underwriting. So the financial underwriting is something that the esteemed panel members are already working on. So that becomes much, much more easier for us to attach contextual products in the journey of the insurance sales and distribution through platforms and NBFCs and fintechs. So this is what I primarily wanted to share with all of us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aparajit. Thank you. Thanks for sharing what is a conversational product and a contextual product, and how you're capitalizing on this contextual product, and how your product is getting enabled with the ecosystem players. Very interesting view. I would like to now move to Thiru. Thiru, from your side, can you able to, because you got a huge customer base, can you tell me while building this platform, how are you creating this highly customized lending experience for your customers?
Yeah, thanks, Balaji. Yeah. See, at Kinara, what is a little bit more unique is that we have platform similar to, I mean, so many people have a digital platform where the loan is processed and kind of all those disbursements, everything happens. So one thing what very unique about our customer segment is also that we don't just rely only on the banked and the kind of a formal income sources. So what happens generally is wherever there is a formal income sources which is reflecting in the bank or GST, that is comparatively easier for us to do the due diligence for assessing the revenue, everything. So what happens if the customer is mostly of a cash revenue? So that's where the challenging things comes, because we don't want to exclude those customers who are mostly doing, for example, a provisional store for that matter, or for, because there are so many things, they don't need to deposit the cash in the bank, but their daily cash inflow comes, and then their purchases comes in, purchase also goes in cash. So one customized thing is that how we are going to identify some of the proxy indicators or the proxy revenue assessment methodologies for the cash revenue customer, based on the sector, subsector, or based on the size of the company, or based on the product they based on the number of footfalls. So we have developed some of the proxy indicators to identify, so that we don't exclude the cash business customers. That is to give a unique experience, or a kind of an inclusive experience, I would say, for that matter, for the cash business customers. And second, from an UI UX perspective also, what we have done is kind of we have made everything in vernacular for the customer app. So it's not only in English. So we work in 6 different states, whereas our app is people can use their local language. So that is another thing which is helpful in, because in the last 1.5 years before, when we did a survey of how the generally the market is within our customer segment, what we were so kind of surprised, but also kind of little bit was expected, was that our 94% of our customers have smartphone access. So the smartphone penetration was so huge that we are able to give our services in a better way to these customers. And the second thing in the survey, what we found was the accessibility, or the customers are more convenient when the app is in their local language. So that is also one of the preferences which we heard, and then we actually worked on it, and we have made it now, as of now, in 6 different languages. So that is one of the thing which we have made a little bit more helpful for the customers. So in that way, one is about how do we include customers who are not included generally in a formal revenue thing, and second is how do we make the easy thing. So we have kind of integrated our chatbot services with our app, so that customer anytime during the flow, if they are stuck somewhere, immediately they can access the chatbot and interact with our centralized call center system, and the call center will help them immediately or call them immediately, or we have an interoperability between a customer web app or customer mobile app or to a field agent app. So what happens if any customer is stuck in any of the pathways, any of the flow, immediately our customer call center can move that to a field agent workflow, so that immediately within the next half an hour a field agent from the local office will visit them, so that we give a very good kind of a seamless experience to the customer. These are all some of the things. I mean, there are so many other small things, but considering the time and everything, I'll just wrap it up here. So that is very, very important for us to give a very good customized experience for the customers in different sectors.
I think that's a very interesting point, like building your own proxy indicators for the cash revenue sectors, and moreover, you're bringing the local language. That's where it's all about Bharat, like connecting to the local people with the local language, and your chatbot is also supporting the local language. Very interesting. I think it's a time to close now. Thank you very much, panelists. It's I can't ask much more than this, because it's a wonderful discussion, and you've given us a lot more inputs for everybody to take and move forward on the fintech and insurtech journey. Thank you very much. Over to Sana, please.
Welcome, Bala.
I think someone need to talk.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Arav?
much, everyone. It's a great learning experience.
I think Sana is coming for a closing note. It says in the message.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe
think someone need to.
I think one person exited.
Arav? Yeah.
I think let's connect up offline and on LinkedIn. A lot of learning opportunities.
Sure. Yeah, very.
Kind of like
Very
the
true,
KYC
very
solution which Nikhil was mentioning, and Balaji,
Sure.
Through you also, we can kind of very nicely manage the panel. So thank you so much for the same.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Manas. Thank you,
Thank you,
Thiru.
Mr.
Thank you,
Balaji, for-
Prajit. Thank you, Aish. Thank you, Rajiv. Yeah, Sana's back. Yes, Sana. Over to you, Sana. Please go ahead.
Indeed, that was a great panel discussion session. Thank you, Balaji, for moderating the panel so well. And thank you so much, all the panel members, Thiru, Mr. Banwal, Manas, Mr. Purohit, Mr. Sinha, Mr. Mittal, Nikhil, and Mr. Bhattacharya. Fantastic having all of you here on a busy working Thursday, and for giving time on such an important subject and topic, rise of fintech and insurtech, changing face of NBFC. Thank you so much, and thank you to all our viewers and all the attendees who are watching us live this event. So I'm sure a lot of takeaways from all those interesting people from such an expert panel like this. Thank you so much once again, and thank you, Balaji, for doing the honor of moderating. Hope to see all of you in the next edition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
panelists.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sana. Thank you. Take care. Wishing all the best. Wishing
Thanks.
abundance.